get this thing broadcasting. Mic check. So I want to talk about class identity real fast. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it, looking at all the videos, looking at the comments, and then there was a comment that struck out. The comment was simple, and it's something that I see in a lot of video games. It goes a little something like this. How come when I play an MMORPG or anything that's, you know, character driven, character created driven with stats or its own roles and classes, you see people that play to the meta, only to the meta, and you end up getting a party with like 4 Templars or 5 of the same thing. No creativity, nobody does anything any different. And that's what I'm going to discuss today. Class identity, ESO universe. Alright, so let me get my myself together right here. Look at that. Look, it comes out. See, like that? Yeah. See, if I was in a video game, I'd try to find a hat like this. Yeah. Cool, right? Good afternoon, Tamriel! How are the denizens of our fine world doing today? Good. I really hope good. I have a treat for all of you. For all of my various unique tunes that are walking around, hacking, looting, and saving the world. Or standing around awkwardly, you know, in your underwear, right in that spot in front of the bank or in front of the area where you can teleport, being an unnecessary hassle to anybody else that's otherwise playing the game the way they're supposed to be playing. I mean, there's a realm to save, there's danger gods to kill, you could be doing a good deed, you can be getting your gear, getting your loot, but instead you'd rather walk around in your underwear and just dance all day and annoy people. Whatever, man. I digress. Today's conversation is class identity. And, man, where to begin? Well, for a starter, let's define identity. The definition for identity, it goes as follows. Identity is the qualities, beliefs, personality, looks, and or expressions that makes a person or a group. But if we're going to go ahead and apply social sciences, if we're going to apply to social sciences and liberal arts and philosophical standpoints, which is what I'm planning on doing anyways. So let's go ahead and discuss this problem in ESO, man, and that's class identity. Alright, look, it's simple. I'm here to discuss the issue of identity in this game of ESO, and I'm going to discuss it by using a couple factors. One, really, is a philosophy by Rene Descartes, and it's playing in bad faith. And you're going to know what that is as we go on. Here's my first point, right? Right off the bat, ESO grants you something called radical freedom. You have the ability to create any person with any ability on any race you desire. Of course, you know, all perks aside, if you buy the any race, any alliance, then that statement holds 100% true. More or less, you can create anything, you can create any character with any build. With alliance it goes on, I mean, if you don't buy the perk, then you have to do it on a specific alliance. But for most of you guys, I imagine you bought any race, any alliance. So you have the ability to do what you want. And it's based on what? 3 pillars: magic, health, and stamina. And that system alone, that's a whole nother conversation. That system alone, you know, for a game that grants you radical freedom, to be restricted to 3 main attributes, that's quite a conundrum that you're in. Alright. The revelation is quite daunting and possibly terrifying to most gamers. I mean, all that freedom you have. I mean, let's be honest. Most of us, basement-dwelling, degenerate mouth breathers that couldn't separate your asses from a hole in the ground, let alone granting these same trolls the ability to make choices that matter. Most of you make bad choices on the reg, like in real life. So why should the game expect any different from you? Tangents aside, radical freedom, the ability to choose your identity as you see fit, leaves you to be solely responsible for what you bring to this game of ESO. Not the devs, not the nerves, and especially not other players. But we all know that that's not true. How many of you go into this game, you're looking to create something, but you ask the following question: what's the best class? How much damage does this do? What's the best guild set? What should I do? Who is that? How did you build this? What is he building? You're playing in bad faith. You're playing in bad faith. But let me continue. Imagine, I want you to take a journey with me. Imagine you just barreled into your filthy domicile, your cluttered gym sock smelling room, or your grandmother's attic, and you frantically search for the controller. Like, where's mine? Where's my controller? It's right here. You quickly look for this controller, right? Man, the only thing that's stopping you from saving Tamriel is a shortness of breath, a myocardial infraction, or a lack of Mountain Dew because you're so thirsty. Woohoo! Mountain Dew! Then at the twilight of your search, you find what you're looking for. You quickly turn on the game. You quickly turn it on. And while you're looking at the loading screen, feeding on Cheetos, there it is. The character creation screen. All you see are stats, build selections, and all of a sudden it dawns on you. Making the best build versus making your favorite build. Man, this is the bane of all indecisive gamers the world over. You're stuck in the same position you are now. Remember, radical freedom, no training wheels. You're not limited to pre-established norms. It's all on you. Well, for some of us more forward-thinking people, that's just the issue, right? Forward-thinking people, you rely on other people's beliefs, and then it's over. You're no longer creating a character that's for you. You're no longer being the best you. What's that from? That from Black Desert Online? Being your true self? Anyways, that could be the issue. You start looking around for other people's advice. You start copying their builds. You start going on, what's that guy's name? Outlast, Outchrist, Outcast, whatever. Monkeynuts.com. I don't know. This guy puts together a list of mathematical formulated guides, and then you just follow it to the T. Except it's you times 50 other people, and now there's 60 Outcast, Outlast bots running around ESO, and you're wondering why every time you party, you're stuck with the same old drones doing the same old things. There's no creativity. No one's doing anything. No one's doing anything unique. And then you wonder why the devs are doing what they're doing. Like, you're curious on why it's happening, right? Other players, man, instead of being yourself, your own tune, you decided to troll online for someone else's perspective, not your own. Which is funny, since the game was created with the idea of, again, being your true self, Black Desert Online. Instead of embracing the possibilities, you forfeit your imagination for pre-made builds and other people's experiences, yet you complain about identity. The moment you decide to try out an Outcast build or somebody else's build for the sake of, not knowing what you want to do, you've relinquished your ability to define your own identity in the game, and you allow others to make it for you. Thus, your identity is never truly known, and again, you're playing in bad faith. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with class identity, nerfs, and stats like that? Look, I'll tell you. The devs said it in so many words. The game, they don't want the game to be dominated by a particular set of people. And these particular set of people, most of them are unemployed, most of them are rich, whatever. They sit in one area and they comb through the game. They comb through the game, looking for stats. They make up builds. And then these builds get popular, too popular for ESO to control. So what ends up happening is you have half the universe doing the same thing. But there are different possibilities, different guilds, different items, different gear sets, different type of people that want to play the game. But you have like the top 5% that hold sway over all of ESO. They hold so much sway that if you don't do builds that closely resemble what they put out online, then all of a sudden you become blacklisted. The way you play is inferior and obsolete. Then all of a sudden you're getting kicked out of groups. Your abilities are not the way they should be because you want to go this way, but 50 other people are going that way. And why are they doing it? because they've noticed something that the devs put in there. They exploit the game, and then they make that exploitation the standard of where everybody needs to play. Yo, if you want to run the best dungeons, if you want to be the best, your builds have to be just like this, and there's no room for interpretation. None. If you do that, you're not going to be kicked. You're not going to be picked. You'll be kicked out of groups, and that's just that. So if I was a dev and I seen this, yeah, you're damn right. I would nerf the game a little bit. I would make it to where everybody has a fighting chance. Am I punishing those people that spend all that time doing it? Absolutely not. Because as far as I'm concerned, you've shown a trend and a pattern. No matter what I do, you're going to find a way to get the best out of the game. All I'm trying to do is make it an even playing ground for everybody else. The game should not be catered to the top 5%, and it should not be whatever this guy builds, you got to build. You can't, what's the point of making all of these gear sets? What's the point of making it a massively online multiplayer game if you're going to only follow 2 or 3 or 4 people's formats because it's the absolute best? So you guys got to understand that. And then one of the issues is, look, when you play ESO, I want you guys to understand you don't have to identify with the role you choose. I mean, think about it. This is one of the few games where you can see hatchet-wielding mages, knights who heal better than their supposed priest, and assassins who rely on magic instead of coming around and shanking your ass from the back. Picture this. Your name is AssClapper69. That's your name. AssClapper69. And you choose to be a dual-wielding assassin. What exactly does a dual-wielding assassin do? The assassin, what does an assassin do, right? It emerges from the shadows to inflict breach and grievous damage to the enemy and quickly retreats back to the ether. When the clapper does this, he's performing the action of an assassin. Or is he performing the action of the clapper? Think about it. You're playing ESO, okay? You are a sorcerer. When you're playing the game as a sorcerer, are you playing the game as Cody? Huh? Are you playing the game as yourself? Or are you playing the game, or are you imagining that you are just a sorcerer and you're doing what a sorcerer would do, right? If you play the game and you merely choose to equate yourself to the role, the game becomes tedious, overzealous, and you're never truly playing ESO. Rather, you're playing the game in a way others expect you to play. Thus, Rene Descartes would say you are playing in bad faith. So, in conclusion, I believe that what the devs are trying to do, in accordance to a utilitarian school of thought, is the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest amount of people. These builds and these other top 5%, the ones with, as I stated before, limited social skills and interactions and things like that. They explore every nook and cranny of the game to dish out guides and builds, which somehow, someway become law, which you have to adhere to, and if you don't, then you're relegated to the ass cracks of society. Someone not taken seriously. Oh, he's not a Templar, X him out. He doesn't have this gear, he doesn't have this build, blah, 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 blah. So, basically, that is what's going on around here. So, if you were to play the game the way that you want to play it, outside the established expectations, you would not get chosen. And quite frankly, that's not right. This game was built on the principles of radical freedom. So if the devs have to nerf things to make sure everybody has a fighting chance to play regardless, the path that they chose, then the devs are doing the correct thing. Anything else that would have changed the game, you'd have to change the game entirely. Which goes back to my original statement: health, magicka, and stamina. I'm going to make another video about that, because that right there is very, very confusing. Like, if you're going to create an entire universe with all of these possibilities of classes and roles, but you only have to go off of health, stamina, and magic, and you have to min-max to the extreme, I don't know. You can't dual class no more because you've min-maxed. You really can't be a magic tank because you have to put health. Where's the magic points going to go? We can talk about that some other time. But that is how I feel about it. All in all, people got to start playing the game the way they want to play it. It is always going to be your favorites versus the most powerful. And, you know, am I saying it's wrong to be the most powerful? No, I'm not. But at the same time, I imagine that when you first played this game, your thought wasn't going to be, I want to be this, 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 and that. The thought was more like, hey, I want to try this and see if it works. But then you quickly get bombarded by everybody else's opinions, and 20 hours into the game, you're just a tool. You're just an ESO industry plant. That's exactly what you are. So, yeah, I'm about to put this out on YouTube, and there's my philosophical point on all of this.